at 5, Las Vegas Raiders star Henry Ruggs arrested, accused of a fiery and deadly DUI crash. The latest from the scene and reaction from the Raiders.
Breaking his silence, Superintendent Jesus Jara issuing the first statement since his firing, his message for teachers.
76 degrees weather now. Winds are calm as well and cooler than yesterday. We'll have more in your forecast straight ahead.
This is an 8 News Now breaking news alert.
We are following breaking news here off the top at 5. A Las Vegas Raiders star accused of causing a deadly crash on a local road. This video from a neighbor shows the fiery aftermath early this morning.
This news reaching around the world today, cutting through the sporting world and the Las Vegas community. And a good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on 8 News Now at 5. I'm Brian Loftus.
And I'm Denise Valdez. We have team coverage tonight. Joe Moeller has a closer look at Henry Ruggs, the young man accused in that crash. Chris Matthews has reaction from the Raiders.
But we start with Victoria Saha with what we've learned about this tragic crash. Victoria?
The roads here are back open. It took police more than 12 hours to examine the scene and take the person who died out of one of those burning cars. And we are learning that she was a 23-year-old person. Now, this early morning crash shook up this whole neighborhood. Metro Police confirmed Ruggs was driving his Chevrolet Corvette when he hit a Toyota RAV4. The RAV4 was traveling north on South Rainbow by Spring Valley in the right lane. At the same time, police say Ruggs and a female passenger were in his Corvette going fast in the center lane, then veered off to the right lane. That's where the RAV4 was. The front of Ruggs' car hit the RAV4 from behind. When the RAV4 came to a stop, it caught on fire. When first responders got on scene, they found the driver of the RAV4 dead. She was 23 years old. Amy Rigo lives right in this area. She provided 8 News Now with the video of the RAV4 catching fire.
I don't know if anybody had time to take whoever was in there or what, or they were scared because, you know, Corona, whatever. But I really felt bad that, you know, I feel like maybe if somebody wasn't just not afraid, could have went out there and helped them.
Metro Police say Ruggs stayed on scene after the crash and showed signs of impairment. He was taken to UMC with non-life-threatening injuries. Ruggs was released from the hospital and taken into the Clark County Detention Center. He is due back in court tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Victoria Saha, live, local, now.
Victoria, thank you. Henry Ruggs will be charged with DUI resulting in death. Now, in Nevada, that charge is a Class B felony. It's punishable anywhere from 2 to 20 years if Ruggs is convicted. Ruggs could also be suspended by the NFL, which has a personal conduct and a substance abuse policy. Ruggs' attorney, David Chesnoff, and Richard Schoenfields have asked the public to reserve judgment until all the facts are gathered.
Meanwhile, his teammates and victims' families will try to cope with this tragedy. Sports Director Chris Matthews has more now on what the Raiders are saying this afternoon. Chris joining us live in studio.
Well, thank you very much, Brian. Yeah, football is so insignificant during this time of tragedy. It's hard to imagine what's going on in the minds of the players right now as they try to prepare for a game this Sunday. Raiders headquarters parking lot was full of cars this afternoon. And one can only imagine the conversations going on behind the steel bars and inside that facility. Shock over the player involved in a preventable accident that took the life of another human being. It's no longer about football. We caught up with former NFL quarterback Randall Cunningham, who is the pastor at Remnant Ministries. He's also the Raiders team chaplain.
What's happened, it's a tragedy, but we just got to really be encouraging to both families. And yes, he's got a little girl, so you know, as a pastor and as a chaplain of the Raiders, I'm available to, you know, just encourage them and encourage both families.
All right, both families will need some help, certainly. The Raiders did release a statement this morning, which reads in part, "We are devastated by the loss of life, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the victim's family. We are in the process of gathering information and will have no further comment at this time." Cunningham has had Ruggs over and many other Raiders over to his ministry in the past. He is also sending his sincerest condolences to the victims' families. Denise.
Chris, thanks for that. So Ruggs, of course, facing some very serious charges that could result in prison time and fines.
And Joe Moeller continues our team coverage from the Clark County Detention Center with more on what now could be awaiting Ruggs.
Yeah, after being treated for those non-life-threatening injuries, a few blocks from here at UMC, he was brought to the detention center where he is now officially charged with DUI and reckless driving. In the state of Nevada, this is a Class B felony, and Ruggs could face anywhere from 2 to 20 years in jail. Metro did not release specifics about Ruggs' injuries from the crash. People have been reacting to news of the crash since it broke this morning. Clark County Commissioner Michael Knapp took to Twitter outraged over what has happened. He has been outspoken about the fatal crashes happening in the valley lately.
Well, I don't care who you are, there's no excuse for this kind of behavior, even more when every single person in our community has the option to take public transit. If you're drinking, if you're abusing substances, every single person in our community has the opportunity to call a friend. Everyone in our community has the option to take advantage of rideshare services.
And I'm back out here live. Many fans of the Raiders have been reacting on social media as well. Many people expressing their disappointment with a decision that was allegedly made last night to get behind the wheel. Many people saying the same thing as Knapp, saying there are plenty of options out there to take a safe drive or a safe ride to get home. Reporting live in downtown Las Vegas, Joe Moeller, Live Local Now.
Henry Ruggs is the now 26th NFL player arrested this year. That's according to a USA Today database.
And of the 26 players arrested in 2026 were for DUI. 3 members of the Las Vegas Raiders have been arrested, including running back Josh Jacobs for DUI in January and cornerback Kima Sivarand, who was arrested for evading in Texas. That was in February.
Now, of course, this arrest coming at a very difficult time for the team. Just last month, head coach John Gruden, caught up in an email scandal, resigned in disgrace. An investigation revealed racist, sexist, and homophobic language used in emails to a team executive a decade ago.
Another driver is in trouble for driving right through the middle of the Henry Ruggs crime scene. Our camera was rolling when that driver blew past Metro police vehicles, coming dangerously close to the cars involved. Officers quickly surrounded that SUV. The driver was cited. Police want to remind everyone to never drive through the scene of an active investigation.
And we are continuing to follow the arrest of Henry Ruggs. We're also working to find out more about the victims in this crash. And you can follow the latest here on air and online at 8newsnow.com.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ted Florendo here with your weather now. Another beautiful day outside. The clouds have cleared. Air quality also in the good range. Temperatures perfect for this fall November day in the mid-70s at this hour. Winds are staying light and calm after those elevated winds we had yesterday. Wind shouldn't be an issue for tonight either. In fact, here's your evening planner. We'll increase the clouds a little later on this evening, otherwise mainly clear skies. Winds less than 10 miles per hour. Your temperatures for this evening cooler than yesterday. 67 at 9 p.m. 8 News down 11 at 64, and we'll be in the high 50s for our morning start for tomorrow morning. So here are your weather headlines. Dry and unseasonably mild. Winds will be returning, but that won't be into the weekend. And don't forget to turn back the clocks this weekend for daylight saving time. We're going to bring back some clouds too. I'll break this all down for you in your most accurate forecast in just a few minutes. Denise, over to you.
All right, Ted, we'll see you then. So we are hearing now from Clark County School Superintendent Jesus Jara for the first time since he was fired last week. In a statement to CCSD employees, Jara said he appreciates the love and support he's received in recent days. He said he has no regrets and that he always puts students first. The school board voted to terminate Jara's contract last week. Now he remains the superintendent until December 1st.
Now checking the very latest coronavirus numbers for Southern Nevada. We are holding steady from yesterday. Clark County's test positivity rate remaining at 5.8%. New cases increased to 112 per 100,000 residents. That pushed our 2-week average back into what is considered high risk of transmission a day after it had dropped down into the substantial category. Fans who want to attend UNLV basketball games at Thomas and Mack will need to show proof of COVID vaccination. The school announcing the policy earlier this morning. It starts next week when the Rebels host Gardner-Webb. Fans will not be required, though, to wear a mask once inside the arena.
Coronavirus vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11 can start immediately. The CDC just gave full emergency approval, about 15 minutes ago. Studies show children are far less likely to have serious cases of COVID-19. However, 67,000 American children under 17 have been hospitalized for COVID infections. That's since August of 2020. Nevada expected to get about 95,000 doses in its first phase.
We are closely watching results from two elections tonight, the race for governor in Virginia and New Jersey. Polls closed about an hour ago in Virginia. The race there still too close to call. Upstart Republican Glenn Youngkin has surged in the polls in recent weeks, but it's not clear if that momentum is enough to knock off Democrat Terry McAuliffe. Also too close to call in New Jersey, where polls closed at the very top of the hour. We'll continue to update you.
And still ahead here at 5, the future comes to North Las Vegas. The self-driving cars bringing good jobs and billions in new tech to the valley.
Plus, finding good work, the questions potential employees are asking as companies look to fill jobs. Here's Ted.
Unseasonably mild for the first week of November. How long can we keep this trend going? Details next. You're watching 8 News Now at 5. We are live.